What is going on, team? We are here for another episode of the podcast, and this is going to be an important episode and a big episode. So you know what to do if you're coming in here live. Would love to know who's listening on in. We're nice and early Australian time, middle of the day in the US and Canada. And to our friends in the UK, I hope you're having a beautiful, beautiful start to the end of your evening. And we're going to be kickstarting this episode in just 2 minutes. So if you're coming into this one live, guys, let us know that you're here. It's always nice to hear who's in the comments, who's watching along live. And we're, of course, going to bring it up on my phone and we can see everyone that's joining. And we're going to be starting this in about 90 seconds, team. So a big episode of the podcast coming, and I'm super freaking pumped. Make sure there's no volume and feedback coming in. So what's going on, guys? How are we? Hope you're having a lovely, lovely start to the morning, evening, or afternoon, whatever it is for you guys. Who we got coming in here live? I love it. I love it. I love it. Hello, Benny. How are you, brother? Tez is in here as well. Shauno, what's going on, mate? G'day. How's it going? Jules. Hey, girlfriend, how are you? I mean, you have been amazing, Jules. I've got to say that. This this week, you've really been accountable. So congratulations, mate. Love seeing it in here. Hello, Freddie, my boy. Glenn Astley's here. Look at this. 7 out of 7, Jules. Eee, so good. So freaking good. Hello, Freddie. Lovely to chat to you earlier today, mate. Hello, Alfie. What's going on, brother? I hope you're well. Guys, we're going to get started in 1 minute. So let us know in the comments, how's your week been, team? Do we feel like we're winning or what? Do we feel like we're making it happen or what? What is going down? Good morning, Loz. I hope you're good. Shan's in here as well. Hello, Shanti. How's your week been, guys? Are you winning at life? I know it's getting a bit chilly back there for the Aussies, but we dig. We dig nonetheless. We're starting in 30 seconds, team. How's the week been? We are going to be talking a little bit about visions in this podcast episode. So if you have any questions or you want to add anything, Sean says winning, love it. If you want to comment anything, more than anything, I really just hope this podcast inspires you to maybe put a bit of thought into this. And of course, if you're in our mastermind, well, yeah, lack of vision is going to be a big, big problem. So anyway, hello, Sarah. How are you, hun? Let's get stuck into another episode of the potty on the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Welcome back to the Better Body Academy podcast. This is the podcast that you come to when you are sick of the dumb diets and unsustainable workout programs. Now, what I want to do first thing off the shelf is say happy birthday to my friend, one of our greatest ever clients, Mr. Terry Holden. He turned 68 this morning. Sorry, Tez, I know you're not that, mate. But I'll tell you what, Benjamin Button, eat your heart out. Tez, you're an absolute diamond and asset to this community, brother, and I hope you're having a good start to the morning, champion. Guys, this is episode 300 of the podcast. That means we're averaging over 100 episodes a year. I'm extremely proud of this because to do this, it's not like a money-making thing. I don't get sponsorship or royalties or whatever, but I just think it's a good medium for people that are bought into the idea of wanting a lifestyle change. And so in this episode, I wanted to do something just a little bit different. I wanted to talk about visions rather than doing something on like deep mindset stuff or perhaps how to eat better or train better. I want to talk to the higher version of you. I had a conversation with one of my boys who's watching on live, Freddie Skipper, this morning. We were talking about life, and I asked him the question, what's the meaning of life to you, bro? Do you ever think about this? And, we got a bit deep, but my point is like, sometimes we're just so caught in the trenches, aren't we? And it's natural. Particularly when the weather's not on our side, we're caught in the trenches and we're thinking to ourselves, oh my God, this is such a grind. But I want you to rise up a level. We're on this planet for I don't know, somewhere between 60 to 90 years, and then we just disappear. And then at a certain point, no one remembers us anymore, right? It's like we're so scared of making decisions which are going to benefit our life because we have these fears of failure and fears of judgment. So rather than embracing life and fucking getting after it, we play really, really small. And so the call to arms that I've got for you in this episode, as I said to Freddie, who has recently gone through a bit of a breakup and is feeling a bit sorry for himself, it's like, man, you're wasting years of your life, dude. How long are we just going to sit in this puddle of piss and just every day's the same? I wake up and I go to work and rinse and repeat. Hey, listen, I get it. Like, there's a reality to life. 50% of the things you do are going to be a grind. And more often than not, it's your willingness to get in the grind that's going to determine whether or not you get what you want. But I think a lot of us are just stuck showing up and wondering why nothing changes. And it's because we haven't put the time in up here between our ears to creating a better vision of our life. You know, the vision doesn't need to be you laying down on a beach somewhere if that's not what you want to do. It might be spending more time with your kids. And, you know, I had a conversation with Coach Erin the other day. She said, I'm just in such a good place at the moment because since the passing of my dad, I've really felt this like wonderful gratitude around what I already have. That is an amazing thing to have. So this isn't about climbing to the highest of highs if that's not for you. It's about living the life the way that you want to live. Now, I want to talk about how I am going through this process at the moment, both in a business level and a personal level. And the reason that I'm doing this is because I know that for me, I've been the best and felt the best when I'm growing. For me, I know that growth in all its forms is what makes me happy. But if you're too busy on your phone fucking around, right, you don't get to ask yourself the question, what makes me happy? What I would love is off the back of this podcast that you ask yourself, like, what actually does make me happy? And if I could magically wave a wand, what would I do differently? Because here's the thing. You have the ability to change some things. You are in control. But we get swept up in other people's plans when we just don't have a plan for ourselves. Now, this can get extremely hard when you start thinking about things and you come up blank. And this is where a lot of people stop, right? They say, I don't have a vision. I don't know. Okay, let's create one. The fact that it hasn't dawned on you that you have a choice up until maybe this very moment right now, that's okay. So let's get to work and create one. If you don't like where your finances are and you don't like where your health is and you don't like where your mindset is, that's okay. Because for me, the dissatisfaction is actually a growth catalyst. This is a good thing. Being dissatisfied to me means that you want more, you're ambitious. But being dissatisfied and complaining and doing nothing about it makes you a victim. And that's not the shoes that you want to be sitting in. So what I want to share with you is some dream casting that I've been doing. And the reason I want to do this is because I think it might help to communicate both from a career perspective and a life perspective, what maybe the line of thought that you could take is. When you sit down with a pad or a phone or however you want to do it, to just like let your mind dream a little bit. We have this like incredible creative mind, this conscious mind, but we occupy so much of the conscious mind with thinking about all the things that we're worried about the past and the future, instead of actually stopping, grabbing a cup of tea and sitting out in the sunshine and asking myself, like, Jesus Christ, what do I actually want of my life? I'm going to share with you firstly some things that I've done regarding our Better Body Academy. Okay, so the vision. This is just sharing of where every now and then when I feel like we're ready for our next leap, this is where my mind goes to. So I've been drafting some mission statements and some vision statements. I'm not going to release them yet, but my vision for this thing that we do here has always been, imagine we had the impact of being able to say, we changed 1 million lives. We helped 1 million people to a greater version of themselves. Somehow. This keeps coming back to me. And then I started to think a little bit deeper. What are our core values? Like, what are the core values with which we want the business to operate? And we spoke about this as a coaching team through the week. I'm not going to bore you with the devil in the detail, but I'm just going to give you the core values that we as a coaching team wish to operate by. Number one is love, because for us, it feels like the Academy is an extension of our family. So that's number one. Honesty, because we believe in coaching that you sometimes have to have an honest conversation. And Monica, you've been part of that this week to be able to really move up a client forward and be able to release them of the pain that they're suffering. Optimism. We really do believe that we have the potential to create a better world. And so we need to be optimistic about our approach to that. 4, growth. We feel like there's an association between becoming more as a human and feeling happier. Number 5, accountability. We believe in taking personal responsibility. And it's interesting, Dan Barker, you've just joined this, man, because this is very relevant for you, bro. Accountability. You are the only one that can change anything in your life. And we believe that this academy is our responsibility. We hold our clients as our responsibility to help out, to empower. And a couple we added as a result of our conference call, these really came from Erin and Dom, and I want to share them, which was respect, firstly. So sharing respect for all of our clients when they're having a bit of a tough time and trying to do our best to pull them through. And Dom suggested community because he felt like that really is the number one thing that we do really, really well. And I totally agree. So that's just a little bit of an insight into where we are with the business. But what I want to do is really dive deep in my life mission, because at the end of the day, this is what's going to be the thing that's going to make you feel, I guess, inspired to do the same thing for your life. What I've done is looked at my life in different aspects or factors. My health, my home, my office, my family, my relationships, my travel, my friend circle, my interests, my wealth, myself, my work. So what you could do is you could write down, if you wanted to try this, you could write down a list of elements to your life, right? I'm just going to read again: health, home, my office, my family, my relationship, my travel, my friend circle, my interest, my wealth, myself, my work. So you could do the same thing. And if you need me to send those through to you or put them in the group, I can. And then start to ask yourself, in each of those areas, what would I like that to look like? So when I think about my health, I'm just going to give you the dot points. I wake up feeling energetic and inspired every day. I'm clear in my purpose and goals. I feel like I'm running ahead of the rest of the world, operating in my own time and space. I sit around 12 to 14% body fat all year, which allows me to have a life and still enjoy food and drink. I'm strong. I can squat and bench press 3 plates, 5 repetitions. I can deadlift 4 plates. This is because I'm intentional in my training. I've developed this specific program. I've got great core strength, and I'm listing out all of these things. Now that I've achieved my marathon goal, I do a 10-kilometer run every 2 weeks just to keep my cardiovascular fitness up. I fuel my body with whole natural foods and always hit 200 grams of protein, regardless of whether it's a Monday or a Sunday. I prioritize my sleep with 6 hours of night. So I'm trying to summarize it a little bit because it's extremely detailed. But have you ever asked yourself, like, aside from, I just want to lose weight, is there any depth to what actually you would like your health to look like? Or is it just kind of like, oh, I just want to lose weight? Because if it's just the latter, you're not really going to have a clear picture of what you're trying to work towards, right? Under the category of my home, I want to share with you the detail to which I've thought about this. We live in a 2-story house where I overlook the beach and I can swim every day if I want because I know that the water energizes me. I sip a coffee from a big ass mug on my balcony while the breeze becomes this reminder for me about how grateful I am. We live in a place that's sunny the majority of the years because I don't want to do winters. This place feels like our home, not just a house. The energy is palpable and it's like a fortress that blocks out the negativity and is filled with the sounds of laughter of my kids. We have a live-in nanny that lives with us permanently and helps out with raising a family. All over the walls are pictures of our family, which reminds us of the love and connection that we already have even when we feel shit. We have a garage gym that's padded out with black floor and dumbbells and a bench and a squat rack and a cable combo. I film seminars in here that I can boom out live to the world, and I invite my friends and family around to come and train with me. So, like, at the start, when you first start doing this for yourself, you're probably going to come up just completely blank because you haven't asked yourself these questions before. But if you had the depth of thought about this that I'm communicating to you now, do you think it would give your weight loss goals or your family goals a little bit more meaning? My family, my kids tell me every day that they love me without prompting them because I've raised them in an environment where they feel safe and loved. I am present with my kids, and even though I'm tired, I pause before reacting because I remember they're kids and my job is not to sterilize them. I'm an amazing role model for my kids, and they model me in so many different ways. When I hear them say, "My daddy is," that sentence is completed with words like strong or healthy or simply the best dad. I challenge my kids to learn skills like cooking and working out. I've taught my kids about dreaming and creating a vision and setting goals and going after things that they want rather than just settling for what they've got. I've shown them how to make money and create health and be vulnerable. And I could continue going into the depths of this one, but a lot of people say, I would love to be a better role model. What does that even mean? When you ask yourself, like, if you were to be a better role model for your kids, how would you be showing up? Like, what would you be doing that's the same and different to what you're doing now? My relationship has found a depth of connection and resonates love. I'm patient with my partner and lovingly accept the unimportant, annoying traits about her. We have at least an hour together today. We have at least an hour together each day in presence. I'm her biggest fan and I support the hell out of her so she always feels full. And we have a physically intimate relationship that makes me feel loved. I'm able to travel to different places around the world without any impact to my business. I can take my parents to places that they haven't seen and cover the costs. And so this is the depth of which you can pad out a vision. But it can only come if you stop filling your head with shit. Does this make sense? My friend circle is tight and free of negative garbage. And I meet people all the time that are above me and encourage me to rise up. I'm generous with my friends, taking them to dinner and letting them know that I love them so much. And I'm a great cook. And I have time to read one book every 2 months. Guys, I'm not going to go into any more here because it's going to sound like there's some level of egoism about it. But that's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to just get you to take a break. And there's been a ton of people that have joined this podcast and left. And they're leaving from one of two reasons. Maybe I'm very boring to listen to, and that's a very high possibility. But the other reason is that when you start to think like this, it's scary. People always talk about the fear of failure, but no one talks about the fear of growth or the fear of success. What would happen if I started to dream just a little bit bigger than I am now? What would happen? Would my friends leave me? Would my partner get scared? What would Jennifer over there think that I don't even care about it and haven't spoken to in 10 years, but she might criticize me if I put it on Facebook? Guys, this is your life. And if I think of my life like this grid of 80 squares that just get ticked off every 12 months, another one gone, man, sure as hell, we're going to get to a place where we're either going to be contented or full of regret that we didn't act to actually change something sooner. And so I wanted to come in on this episode and make a bit of a call to action and challenge you to think, you know what, like, am I clear in what I want? Or have I even started to think about what I want? You're not going to ever reach a point where you have this like perfect life. That's just not how it works. It's always going to be an evolution of the things that you would like to have and things that you no longer need. But you're in the driver's seat. And the sooner you realize it, the sooner you can actually do something about it and take the responsibility and take control. If you're part of any type of change program and you're minimizing it down to, I want to lose weight just so I feel better, you're missing the biggest part of this. We run a physical transformation program because we truly believe that if you want to do things on a bigger stage in your life, then mastering your health is the first step. And if you're listening to this podcast and you feel like you're far from mastering your health, that's okay. It doesn't matter because we're all a work in progress. But let's get started. Let's, this weekend, open up a simple piece of paper and just start writing some stuff. Because when you start, I guarantee you what's going to happen is when you start writing some stuff, you start letting some ideas flow, things are going to spill out of you quite quickly to the point where you won't be able to stop writing. And then what will happen is you will then go, oh, now I've got to do something about this. And the fear will come up and all the resistance will start to challenge you. But embrace it. You're only here for a short time. And when you're gone, no one's going to care. Team, I'm going to leave it there. I can feel myself getting actually a little bit emotional about this, but hopefully this has just at some level helped you to move. If it has, let me know in the comments if you've got some feedback or if you would like to ask a question perhaps, or a struggle that you've got, please share it in the comments and I'm more than happy to chat it out. Other than that, team, this has been the Better Body Academy podcast for episode 300. I'll see you guys in the next episode. All right, team, we're out for another day. I might just end the podcast and just let this perhaps sink in for those that watched a little bit and hope that you guys maybe got a little bit out of it. Love you all. Peace. Thank you. And have a beautiful, beautiful start to your day. End to your day or nighttime.